Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Fraser Field. We thought we were all done when we finished the high school season here on Channel 15, but we're back here for the regional tournament, Babe Ruth style. This are the 16, 18-year-olds, and you'll know most of the players. You've watched them on TV 15 through the high school season. This is they're split up between English, Glasgow, and St. Mary's. I think there's maybe a Bishop Fenwick player as well. Norwich, Connecticut are the visitors in the red and white. Taking the field is the Lynn Babe Ruth contingent. David Barnard in a spot he's been in many times on the mound here at Fraser Field. Lynn defeated New Hampshire, I think it was Keene, New Hampshire, last night. This is Connecticut's first encounter. They drew a bye. Lynn opened the tournament against New Hampshire. The winner of this will get Cape Cod in the finals of the winners bracket. The loser will have to drop down and have to find some pitching to get them through the weekend to try and win 3 or 4 games to win and move on to the Nationals. Lynn won this tournament last year, I believe, as a younger team. I think it was the 14-year-olds, might have been the 15s. So a lot of these young guys thought they had played their last game at Fraser Field, and they found out they hadn't because they're back, hoping to win this one and move on. Leon Elwell, who coached that team that went to the Nationals, Babe Ruth team, is the coach of this team, along with Tom Donovan, the head coach at Salem State. Most of these kids were members also of the Legion baseball team. Sean Buzzy, the pitcher for Connecticut, will lead it off. Ryan Traney, the shortstop, bats second. Nick Cavino, the first baseman, hits third. Batting fourth and playing third base, Jeff Kosher. Clayton Bray, the extra hitter, will hit number 5. Batting sixth and playing right field, Dylan Longo. Kevin Hanslich, the left fielder, hits number 7. As going back into short, right center field is Moretta to make the play on Buzzy. So 1 up, 1 down. So handlers the left fielder bats 7th. Jackie Gratz will bat 8th and play center field. Catching and batting 9th, Kevin Pasquale. And the second baseman, Sebastian Longo, will hit number 10 in the lineup. And that's correct, 10 hitters. It's A.J. Luciano, can't handle it. He came up on a little bit, looked like he had it, went off, looked like the heel of his glove, and couldn't hold on. So Traney reaches on the error. Nick Cavino, the first baseman, will be the hitter. So there are 10 hitters. You don't have to bat 10, but you can bat 10. And it's an extra hitter, not a designated hitter. In for a strike. David Bernard building up a resume for next year. He's back again. Only a junior, will pitch again for Classville next year. Mike Zimorowski happy to have him back. Hit foul, back and out of play. Oh, 2 the count to the Connecticut first baseman. Good waste pitch by Bernard. Cavino laid off, who was just outside. Trying to keep that runner close at first base. Bernard steps off. Good pitch. He knew it. He turned around and walked away as soon as he took the pitch. Good pitch by David Bernard. 2-away. Jeff Kosher. Curveball drops down and in for a ball. Kochia. I'll say it both ways. Hope I get it right once. Diving back at first is Trainee. Hit foul out of play. That's going to go over the wall. It doesn't hit up in the trees and actually bounce back in the stands. That was going to go over the wall into one of the yards. But it hit a leaf or a tree or a limb on the tree and bounced right back in the stands. Board says 0-1, but I know that's not correct because he threw at least one pitch down and in. Good fastball for a strike on the corner. The runner takes off, hit right back. David Bernard, who's the first baseman when he's not pitching, helps himself with the play. So he gets a strikeout and an assist for the last 2 outs. The error doesn't hurt. Connecticut is down in the first. They leave a base runner. And Lynn will have a chance to get on the board first. Joe Marmoretta from Lynn English will play second base and lead off. Left fielder Kyle Ouellette bats second. A.J. Luciano. A.J. Luciano, the shortstop, will hit third. The pitcher, David Bernard, will hit fourth. Anthony Nikolakakis will play first and bat fifth. Playing center field and hitting sixth is Colin Reddy. The catcher, Zach Elwell, will hit number 7. Playing right field and batting eighth, Brett Buckland. The third baseman, Deshaun Anderson, hits number 9. And Lou Vidal will be the extra hitter, hitting number 10.
If they want to come up here and count, they can. It's 12.
There is a very big hole in the stands here at Frazier Field. Colin Reddy is in center field, and Tom Reddy is not in the stands rooting for his grandson. Tom passed away. His funeral is today, and it was one of the biggest I've ever seen out of Solomini at Broadway, and I'm sure St. Pius Church will be jam-packed tomorrow. Huge Reddy family who are huge parts of the city. Tom Reddy was one of those great characters that I talk about, and I say that in glowing fashion. Tom and I have been friends more years than we tend to think about. I've probably known him longer than most. One of the nicest people you ever want to meet. Terrific fan. Followed his sons, his granddaughters, grandsons, his family members everywhere they went. Wherever they played, he was there supporting them. Win, lose, or draw. Just an outstanding gentleman. And God bless him and his family. And you don't fill holes like that. When people like that pass away, there's no filling in the hole. You don't replace people like that. They're irreplaceable. They only come along once in a great while. And I was very privileged to be able to call Tom Reddy my friend. And may he rest in peace, and may God bless his family. Joe Marmoretta, the second baseman, will lead it off. against Sean Buzzy. Hits the first pitch foul. It's going to make it up in the seats and out of the seats. They give him an awful lot of room in right center. Right field is way over by the foul line. They play him straight away in left and center. That one bounced to home plate. Pretty good trip for Connecticut to get here. Easy pickings for Lynn to just live at home and very easily get to the ballpark every day. Missing low and inside for a ball, 2-1. Connecticut usually very good, baseball and softball. High for a ball, the count goes 3-1. So he walks Moretta to start the ball game. Kyle Ouellette, the left fielder.
Number 16, the left fielder, Kyle Ouellette.
Into second base, Moretta slides ahead of the throw. Kyle Ouellette, we told you, was interspace, St. Mary's, classical English. This is St. Mary's. So it's English at second base, St. Mary's up at bat, and Lynn Classical on deck. Everybody often wondered what would happen if we had one team from the city. We're almost finding that out now. Off the catcher, Moretta on his way, and they throw it away, and he's going to score. So the wild pitch moves him to third. The catcher's error brings him home. So a walk, a stolen base, a wild pitch, and an error gives Lynn a 1-0 lead. So Moretta manufactures a run. They may have had a shot at him at third, but the throw went to the foul side, actually the coach's side of third base, and the third baseman was more on the bag looking for the throw to third base. Ouellette gets called out on strikes.
The shortstop, number 4,
A.J. Luciano. Mike Sukowski, sorry to see this young man go. He's had 2 terrific years. The last 2 years he's been unbelievable. If Glasgow was a little closer to the top of the league, he certainly could have been in the running for the MVP. He had some huge games for Glasgow. He hit for the cycle against Winthrop. High and tight for a ball. That tree out in left field over the bullpen area is just sending a little bit of shade, but almost everything is sun. On the fist, he pops it up behind second base, and he dropped it. Luciano will reach on the error. Got it in on the fist. He just kind of touched it and popped it up. The second baseman went back, had it, and leaning over his shoulder, just had it, bobbled it, and dropped it. David Bernard, the pitcher, is the hitter. With Luciano at first, let's see if he goes. He can run. Looked like he almost was going to take another step. They throw over, he gets back. Diving back again is Luciano. Down and in for a ball. Hit foul off the catcher. Luciano was on the move. He'll have to go back to first base. Anthony Nikolakakis is on deck. We mentioned all the schools. We forgot to mention Swampscott. Zach Elwell, the son of Leon, the coach, had a very good year for Swampscott High School. Jammed him. He pops it up again. And he almost misplayed that one. He finally picked it off the grass. So both Luciano Bernard gets jammed and they pop it up. One is dropped and one is caught. Anthony Nikolakakis, St. Mary's, will be the hitter. He was part of the Babe Ruth team that went to the Nationals. I think it was South Dakota. Hit the shot, big hop. They'll go to first with it, and they throw Nikolakakis out. Nice play by the shortstop trainee. But Moretta, with the walk, stolen base, wild pitch, and an error, manufactured the run that gives Lynn a lead. They win the first inning by a score of 1-0, but we got a lot of baseball left to play. At the end of one, Lynn won, Connecticut nothing. 5, 6, and 7 for Connecticut as we start the second inning. Clayton Bray, the extra hitter, will lead off against David Bernard. Solid hit to left field, going back off the glove. That was hit to the warning track. A solid shot by Bray. A leadoff double. Gives Connecticut the tying run in scoring position with nobody out here in the second inning. Dylan Longo, the right fielder, is the hitter. That was a solid shot by Bray. Kyle Ouellette going back over the shoulder, just off his glove, almost made a great play. In for a strike. Swing and a miss. Quickly it's 0-2. Feels like we're right back in the swing of things. Manning Field having all kinds of action over there. I think it's flag football, I think. Hit to second base. Moretta throws him out at first. It's not a sacrifice, but it works the same. So Connecticut gets the tying run to third base with one out. Kevin Hanslich, the left fielder, will be the hitter. Keyshawn Hansen shortened up at third base. Curveball's in for a strike. Up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. waved at that pitch. It was way outside. David Bernard got a lot of help with that pitch. And it's 1-2. Chase the pitch. They hold the runner at third. Good job by Elwell. So a big strikeout. Elwell had plenty of time. He took his time, looked the runner back to third, threw a strike down to Nikolakakis, and there's 2 away. Jack Gratz, the center fielder, is the hitter. High and tight for a ball. Good fastball for a strike, 1-1. Good pitch again on the corner, 1-2. You can make a living if you could keep it right there. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball just hung inside, broke a little bit late, and we got our first deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in inning number 2. High for a ball. The count goes full. And he misses for ball 4. Extends the inning. Brings up the catcher, Kevin Pasquale.
Next batter in the inning, number 10, the catcher, Kevin Pasquale.
So let's see if they send the runner, and let's see what Lynn does if they do. Chop foul towards the Lynn dugout. High and away for a ball. Connecticut hasn't sent the runner. I'm kind of surprised. I thought they'd send him on the first pitch. Maybe try to steal the run. Hit right with the top of the bat. Just got a piece and fouled it back. And it's 1-2. Diving back at first is Gratz. Popped up. Nikolakakis in foul territory, moves into fair territory, makes the play. Well, Dave Bernard comes up big. He gets a strikeout. He walked the batter, but then he gets the pump up. So the double doesn't hurt. They had the runner at third with 1 out. The strikeout and the pump up gets Lynn out of the inning without being scored on. They got the first hit of the game, the big double by Bray to lead it off. He got as far as third with 1 out. David Bernard bears down and gets out of the inning without giving anything up. So we'll move into the bottom half of the second. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for Lynn.
Are you troublemaking? Lisa!
Calling ready, Zach Elwell, Brett Buckland. To face Sean Buzzy, starting his second inning of work. He's on the short end of a 1-0 score. Partly his fault. He walked the leadoff batter, but not really his fault because it was stolen base. A wild pitch and the throwing error by the catcher into the outfield allowed Moretta to score the run. So there was another error after that to put a base runner on, but Buzzy got a pop up and a strikeout to get out of the inning. Or a pop up and a ground out to get out of the inning. Shade has picked up a lot more of the infield. Shortstop, third base, pitcher, part of left field. The tree on the outfield casts a very large and long shadow. And again, action going on at Manning Field. I believe it's flag football with the young kids. Colin Reddy, he's playing here with a heavy heart. Grandfather Tom, he was at the wake today, and I'm betting it was unanimous, the family and everybody saying what Tom would want would be for Colin Reddy to play in this game. And I'm sure Tom is right here looking over his grandson, cheering him on. There is nowhere Tom Reddy would want Colin Reddy to be tonight other than right here in uniform, playing for his team. That one bounced. The wake today was one of the biggest I've ever seen. It came out the door of Solomini's, out to the street, down the corner, almost to the gas station in the pond, and it was still growing when I left. It was a great tribute to a great gentleman who will be missed by so many people, especially this young man in the batter's box. Chop foul, and the count evens at 2. So Buzzy was behind 2-0. Now he comes back to even it at 2-2. Chop to third. Right by the third baseman. The error is going to allow. That's the third error. We've only played an inning. That's the third error on Connecticut. We mentioned all the Lynn teams. Swampscott now in the batter's box. Zach Elwell had a very good year for Swampscott High. Had some very big hits. Squares the bunt. Takes the pitch off the catcher. The pass ball will allow Reddy to get into scoring position. Let's see if they bunt. I know he got on the scoreboard. He had an assist or a goal in the game that was played in Revere, knocking off the Lynn Jets and allowing Swampscott to go to the division final. So he had a big year in hockey and baseball. High and tight for a ball. He formerly played in Lynn before moving over to play for Swampscott. Hit foul to the first base coach. Nice play by Christian Burt. Christian's not able to play. He's hurt. He hurt his back and came back and played some defense. He wound up swinging the bat, I think, the last game. But he couldn't. He hadn't played for a long time. Finally came back and only played defense and then started to swing the bat. Now he's back out of action again, injured. Hits it foul. That's going to go down that grassy knoll behind first base. Count stays 3-2. That hit him. Would have been ball four anyway, but it's a hit batsman, and they're going to come out, talk to Buzzy, as Lynn has a threat. First and second, nobody out for Brett Buckland, one of Mike Zaborowski's classical Rams. This is the 16 to 18-year-old Babe Ruth regionals. Lynn's had a good run through their Babe Ruth programs, sending one, I believe it was last year or the year before, to the Nationals or the World Series, whatever they call it. Let's see if Brett Buckland bunts. They're not playing in. Third baseman, coach here is, now he's squeezing in a little bit. Squares, pushes it towards third. This is going to be a tough play. There's nobody covering first. Nobody covered first base. It'll be a base hit for Buckland. It loads the bases. They were going to have a tough time throwing him out anyway. So an error, a hit batsman and a bunt single loads the bases for Deshaun Anderson.
The third baseman, number 8, Deshaun Anderson.
Deshaun had a big interception in the Aganis football game to help his South team win. Waves at that pitch that broke down and away. Missing inside for a ball. So we mentioned extra hitter, not designated hitter. Lynn's not using one. They're only playing 9 players. Jammed him again inside. Anderson almost offered and held up. And it's 2-1. On the corner for a strike. Evens the count at 2. Connecticut with their infield way in on the turf. Allows the runners to get a big jump at first and second. Lined in the right field for a base hit. They're waving everybody. A double for Anderson and 3 RBI. He drilled that through the drawn-in infield. The right fielder was way over by the foul line, had to go chase it. Pretty good production from your number 9 hitter. Buckland scored all the way from first. And all of a sudden it's 4-0. That one bounces down and in. Nice stop by the catcher, Pasquale. Jomar Moretta led off with a walk, stole second, went to third on a wild pitch. And when they tried to throw him out at third, they threw it into the outfield and he scored the first run. Off-speed pitch, he was way out in front of it. Anderson drilled that ball by the second baseman in the right field, and they've been playing the right fielder well over to the foul line. And by the time he got to it, 3 runs have scored. That's a hit. That's going to drop for a base hit. They had to wait to see if it would be caught. Now they airmail it, and it winds up in the stands. That's going to be another run. So Moretta gets a base hit. Anderson goes to third on the hit. And another error. They've made 2 errors in each of the first 2 innings. They were discussing whether the runner would get second or third. He wasn't. He gets 2. I guess they didn't think he touched first base before the throw. Now they did give him third base because it's 2 bases from the last base he touched, and he was around first base when he made the throw. Couldn't hold up. He tried to. Carlolette, when he realized it was going to break down and away, it was too late. He had already committed. He was called on strikes his first at bat. And that one hits him. Second hit batsman in the inning. So first and third, still nobody out. 4 runs in. A.J. Luciano reached on an error. He hit a pop-up behind second base that was caught and then dropped. And we're going to get warm-up action for Connecticut.
Number 4, shortstop, A.J. Luciano.
Shot over the left fielder's head, all the way back to the warning track. They're waving the runner home. Second double in the inning. Luciano's got a couple of RBI. Ouellette scores easily from first. Six runs in the inning for Lynn, still nobody out. David Bernard, the pitcher, popped to the second baseman as one trip. As the shadows now cover a little bit more of the infield and outfield. Right fielder, first baseman, still in sun, along with the hitter and the catcher. That one bounces off the catcher. That's going to move the runner up. They got one on the first, but they've opened up here. 3 errors, 2 hit batsmen, 2 doubles. In for a strike. Two doubles, 2 singles, 2 hit batsmen. 2 more errors. Hit, knocked down by the shortstop, looking to make a play. It gets by. That's another error. There'll be a base hit for Bernard. An infield hit. He doesn't get an RBI. The runner's going to score on the error. Eight hitters and 7 of them have scored. And that's going to be it for Buzzy, as we're going to have a pitching change. Anthony Nikolakakis will be the first hitter that Tommy Essig will face, the left-hander coming in relief. Nikolakakis bounced out short to first. Still nobody out here. Nikolakakis is the 9th hitter that batted around. And he rips one to left field. And a nice diving catch. Kevin Hanslick made a terrific catch. Colin Reddy started this, bounced one to third. He reached on the error and came around to score the first run. He's the 10th hitter in the inning. That one bounces off the catcher. Another wild pitch. Now they say it hit Reddy. So 2-1 with 1 out for Zach Elwell. He got hit by a pitch and scored a run in this inning. Up for the second time.
Zach Elwell.
Told you he's from Swampscott High. Down and in for now. It hit him. Second time he's been hit in the inning. Four hit batsmen in the inning. And the bases are loaded. They bring the infield in. Now they're going to play back at short and second, looking for a double play. First and third are in. Brett Buckland got a base hit. He laid down a perfect bunt. And I wound up with, would have been a base hit anyway, but there was nobody covering first base. He waltzed into first base and scored one of the runs in the inning. Off-speed pitch way out in front. So that now everything is in shade down on the field. Hit foul. Swing and a miss, he gets him. Two away. Tayshawn Anderson drilled a shot by the second, pulled an infield by the second baseman for a double. Knocked in 3. Got one of the 2 doubles. That bounces out, but nice job by the catcher Pasquale to keep it near home plate, so the runner has to stay at third. I don't know if I've ever seen an inning where 4 batters were hit. High for a ball. Trying to change up. Started high, stayed high. Chop foul toward the Connecticut dugout. Anderson has my time. I got it from the plate umpire. Nice stop by the catcher, Pasquale. He's getting a workout behind home plate. In for a strike. Count goes full, 3-2. Solid shot to left field, drifting back to left fielder, over the shoulder. Another nice play by Hansel. She made two very nice plays. Anderson looking for a couple more RBIs in the same inning. Hit it a time just before the warning track. Hansel has tracked it down. He made two big plays, but Lynn sends 13 to the plate. 7 of them score. At the end of 2, Lynn has given David Bernard an 8-0 cushion to work with over Connecticut at the end of 2 innings. This is Tommy Essage leading off. He's the pitcher now. He came in, he's batting in the second baseman slot. The pitcher, Buzzy, went to play second base. Pitch is in for a strike. David Bernard is now has been given a huge lead in this one, starting his 3rd inning of work. 1 ball, 1 strike. Over but low, it's 2-1. Chop. Great hustle by David Bernard. When he realized Nicola Kakos is going to go get that little tap, he hustled to first and beat the base run. A nice play by David Bernard, combining with Nicola Kakos. The play goes 3-1 for the out. Sean Buzzy popped to the second baseman, leading off the ball game. It's a little bit further to the right side this time, to the right fielder. Buckland makes the play. 2 up, 2 down in the 3rd. Ryan Tranny reached on an error. Foul back for strike 1. Good fastball for a strike. Quickly it's 0-2. Threw the curveball in on the hands. He swung right through it. 3rd strikeout. He's got 1 in each inning. First 1, 2, 3 inning of the ball game goes to David Bernard. So we'll move into the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be the top of the order for Lynn. And Essig will start his first inning of work. He come in relief. So Lynn helped out. 7 runs they got in that inning. They did it with 5 hits, 2 big doubles. One by Luciano for 2 RBI, the other one by Anderson for 3 RBI. 3 errors in the inning. They made 5 in 2 innings. And throw in 4 hit batsmen. The only thing he didn't have was a walk. Top of the order. Moretta is perfect. Walked and scored, singled and scored. And they're going to be turning the lights on here at almost any time. And if it looked like it was getting a little dark out in the field, it was. The lights are coming on now here at Frazier Field. It'll take a little while for them to gear up. Curveball dropped down and in. Hit in the air. Long run for the right fielder coming on. It drops for a base hit and it skips by. Moretta can run. He's in with a double. It took a bounce. Right fielder had a long way to come. It bounced right by him and Moretta just kept going. He's on base for the 3rd time. Third double for Lynn. And they got another runner in scoring position. Kyle Ouellette called on strikes. Last time up he got hit by a pitch and scored a run. In for a strike. Nice stop by the catcher on a pitch that was down in the turf. Low for a ball. Missing outside for a ball. And that's ball 4.
Help me, Mr. Britt.
AJ Luciano reached on error, doubled in 2 and scored a run. He was 3/7 of the offense in the 2nd inning. Curveball drops in for a strike. Hit to center field. They make the catch. Murray's going to tag up and go to 3rd. He loves to run. Luciano flies out to center field. Moretta was 90 feet away from scoring his 3rd run in the ballgame. David Bernard popped to second and got an infield hit. high and tight for a ball. Waved at that pitch. It was down and away. Essig got some help on that pitch. Hit into left field for a base hit. Bernard's got his second hit. An RBI. Moretta scores his third run. First and second with one out. Anthony Nicolakakis grounded a shot and got robbed of extra bases. We're going to get a pinch runner at first base. Kevin Durant running for the pitcher, Bernard at first base. Down and in for a ball. Hit foul. I hope everybody's all right over at Manning Field. The ambulance pulled in, the lights are flickering, they're taking somebody out. And that, I think it's flag football. I hope everybody's okay. Hit in the air to center field. Caught. They fake tagging up. Colin Reddy hasn't been up officially. Well, he has been up. He reached an error and got hit by a pitch. He's been on base twice and scored a run. And it's not Colin Reddy. It's Danny Lillier hitting for Reddy. So Danny Lillier is the pinch hitter. Down and away for a ball.
Number 11, Danny Lillian.
Down and away again. Nice stop by Pasquale, the catcher. Slices it foul. Down behind the stands on the left field side. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Solid shot, just pulled it foul. Out in front enough to pull it by the first base bag. And we have another deuce as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the third with Lynn very comfortably ahead. And just kicks foul again. Stayed fair halfway down and kicked foul. Two-two pitch again. way high. Tried to take something off. Started high and just stayed high. So the runners will be off and running with the pitch. Hit out in front. They're going to have to hurry. Safe. But out of the plate trying to score. So Lilia gets a base hit. First baseman Cavino to the catcher Pasquale. Knocks the runner down at the plate trying to score. But Lynn gets another run. Moretta started with a double. He scored his third run. They add to the lead. It's now Lynn 9-0 over Connecticut at the end of 3. Max Staccato will take over on the mound for Lynn. And he's another Swampscott player. So it's Swampscott battery. Swing and a miss. Mike Cavino has the only hit for Connecticut. He lined a shot over the left fielder's head. Curveball drops down and in. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 2. Well, Dave Bernal went 3 innings. He didn't give up a run. Gave up 1 hit, walked 1. The only other base runner was an error. So 3 base runners for Connecticut. They hit the trifecta. An error, a double, and a walk. So David had a very good outing. Reaching for that one and just tapping it up in the seats. Staying alive. Hit to third, Deshaun Anderson. Nice play over to Nikolakakis. No wasted motion. Charged it, got it on the run, made the good throw. We saw him do that a lot for Lynn Classical this year. Jeff Cochia, the third baseman, bounced to the pitcher. And that was David Bernard at the time. He's facing Tagato for the first time. Hit foul up in the screen. And it drops down into the seats. Line to the right center field for a base hit. Leighton Bray. And I apologize. Clayton Bray was the one that got the double over the left fielder's head. I was looking at the wrong part of my scorebook. Now he just punches it out in the outfield. Diving and making the catch. And I believe that's Durant. Terrific play, picked that off the grass. Kevin Durant is an outstanding outfielder. He stayed in the game. Swing and a miss. Dylan Longo bounded out second to first. There's 1 trip. Off Anderson's glove, it deflects out into the outfield. I'm going to give him a base hit. I don't know if they could have thrown longer out. Would have been tough for the shortstop, and Anderson would have had to straighten up. So I'm going to give him a base hit. 2 on with 2 out. Kevin Hanslich, the left fielder, struck out and had to be thrown out at first base when he swung on a pitch that was down in the turf. Just ducked out of the way from the curveball that hung up and in. High for a ball. High again for a ball. 3-0. Foul to the screen. You got the green light on 3-0. Hit foul again. So Degnato was behind 3-0. Now it's 3-2. Looking to come all the way back. Strike 3 call. Good pitch. He didn't think so. Nice pitch. So the 2 hits are stranded. We're moving to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It'll be the bottom 3 in the order for Lynn. And actually, they'd love to get a run here. Kevin Handler, who made those great plays in left field, is being subbed for. Chris Busko is going in for him in left field. Zach Elwell hasn't been up officially, but he scored a run. He got hit twice, and he got hit twice in the same inning. That's got to be some kind of a record. So Lynn would love to get a run here. If they get a run here and get Connecticut out 1-2-3, the game would be over. The mercy rule would kick in. So Zach Elwell, Brett Buckland, Tayshawn Anderson are the scheduled hitters. I see Lou Vidal swinging a bat, so he's probably going to hit for Buckland. So they're looking to go 2-0 and get into the winner's bracket final against Cape Cod, which should be a good one. Cape Cod, very good team.
Lead off, the catcher, number 9, Zach Elwell.
Popped up. First baseman makes the play. So they get Elwell for the first time. Brett Buckland singled and scored, laid down a perfect bunt, and then struck out swinging. He's going to get hit for by Vidal.
Now hitting for Lynn, number 3, Lou Vidal.
Lou Vidal, another Spartan. St. Mary's player. Can pitch as well. In for a strike. Missing pushes him off the players at way inside for ball one. 1-1 to count. Just got a piece and fouled it back to the backstop. Nick Reiser on deck to hit for Deshaun Anderson. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. Two away. Nick Reiser will hit for Deshaun Anderson.
Number 6, Nick Reiser.
Breaks down and in for a ball. Missing low and away, 2-0. That one's in. Big hop to the second baseman, and they throw Reiser out. First 1-2-3 inning for Connecticut comes in the bottom of the fourth, but they need a huge comeback. We played 4 here at Frazier Field in this 16-18 Babe Ruth regional tournament. Lynn comfortably ahead 9-0 over Connecticut. Jack Gratz, the center fielder, drew a walk his one trip. One of only 5 base runners in for a strike. His walk, there was an error. A couple of hits, 3 hits actually. Hit back out of play. Spencer DiVigilio is the new pitcher. So Degano went 1, gave up 2 hits, no runs, struck out a batter. DiVigilio pitching from the stretch. Strike 3 called. Lynn has got at least 1 strikeout in every inning. David Bernard had 3.
The catcher, Kevin Duswall.
Down and away for a ball. Degano had 1, and now DiVigilio's got 1. He has really grown. I wouldn't recognize him. When I did his games in Wintersport Tournament, City Series, he really was a little leaguer. He has certainly sprouted up. Line in the left center field for a base hit. Pasquale gets a base hit. And it'll bring up Tommy Essage. He's been up once and bounced out. First baseman to the pitcher covering. In for a strike on the corner. So right now, lefty against lefty. held up, but it was in anyway, and it's 0-2. This is one of those Essence who throws left and bats left. Down and away for a ball. Trying to get him to chase that pitch out of the strike zone. Hit the shot. They get one. They don't get two, but they get the important one in the middle. So two-way. And Sean Buzzy, who was the starting pitcher, is now the second baseman. Up for the third time. He's popped to second and flied to right. In for a strike.
Number 11, Sean Bussey.
In for a strike again, quickly 0-2. Hit the deep shot. They get the force at second. Nice play by Luciano over to Moretta. He had to go way deep in the hole to get that. So they leave another base runner. Vigila gives up a hit, gets a strikeout. And Lynn would love to score a run here because the game would be over. They've got the top of the order up. David Bernard went the first three, gave up one base hit, walked one. Three base runners, there was an error. Delgado went one, gave up two hits, struck out a bat, didn't give up a run. DiVigilio has pitched the fifth, giving up a hit, getting a strikeout.
5 for 3.
So Sean Morowski is going to be the new shortstop. First batter called on a strike. Second batter base hit. Next two batters 6-4. Joe Moretta will lead it off. He's perfect. A walk, a single, a double. On base 3 times, and he scored 3 runs. He got Lynn started in the first inning. He walked, stole second. When the ball in the turf went off the catcher, the wild pitch, he went to third. When they tried to throw him out, they threw it wild, and he scored the first run. And it's been downhill for Connecticut since then after a big 7-run second inning. Put this one away. In for a strike. So he's 2 for 2 with 3 runs scored, including the walk. Waved at that pitch that was a little bit high, took something off, and he chased it. Down and in for a ball. Hit foul back to the screen. So both parking lots over at Manning Field and here at the Baseball Diamond Fraser Field are jam-packed with cars with all the action going on. We believe it's flag football going on at Manning and all this baseball here. Popped up. First baseman can't make the play and it bounces foul. Moretta gets a life. He called for it. I think he took his eye off the ball because the catcher was running right into him. And when he did, it bounced, and it bounced foul. So Moretta gets the swing again. Oh, I guess to see another pitch anyway. Missing low for a ball, evens the count at 2. Missing again, so he was ahead of him. Now he's got to come with a pitch or put him on. Right by the pitcher. He just saw his life pass in front of him. A line shot almost took his foot off. Moretta's got his third hit. He's on for the 4th time. And Spencer DiVigilio. Durant went in to run for the David Bernard, the pitcher, but he stayed in the game and stayed in left field. Moretta takes off, got a big jump, easily standing up. Usually don't see anybody going standing up at second base. So that's the winning run at second base with nobody out. DiVigilio missed the bunt, and that got the catcher. And he's hurt. He's going to have to shake this one off. DiVigilio might have got a little bit of a piece of it and fouled it back. And I think he's speaking in a much higher tone right now. We hope he's going to be okay. Not much you can do is just try to shake it off and walk around. He's up. Gets a hand from the fans. He's had a tough time behind the plate. They were trying to bunt the winning run over to third. Gets the bunt down. They have to hurry. They're not going to get him. DiVigilio's got a base hit, and the winning run is at third. First and third with nobody out for A.J. Luciano. Perfect bunt by DiVigilio. And it's first and third with nobody out. Connecticut will have to bring the infield in. That makes Luciano a much tougher hitter. He has reached an error, doubled in 2 and scored, and flied out to center field. In for a strike. Hit in the left field for a base hit, and that'll do it. His third RBI. Moretta scores his 4th run in the ball game, and Lynn will get mercy rule, and it helps them. They only had to use their pitching sparingly. 3 innings. David Bernard, an inning by Degano, an inning by DiVigilio. Lynn got it going the first inning. Moretta, a walk, a stolen base, a wild pitch, a throwing error, made it 1-0, and that's all that Lynn needed. They hit 13 hitters in the second inning. 7 of them scored. 2 RBI double by Luciano, a 3 RBI double by Anderson. Another one scored, two more scored on errors, and it was 8-0. They added a run in the third. Moretta led with a double. Tagged up and went to third on the fly ball by Luciano. Scored on David Bernard's base hit. They made it 9. And after a 1-2-3 in the 4th, Moretta gets his 3rd hit on base for the 4th time. Steals second, goes to third on DiVigilio's bunt single, and scores on Luciano's second hit, 3rd RBI. And Lynn wins it by a score of 10-0 to advance to the winner bracket final. It'll be played tomorrow afternoon against Cape Cod. For Lynn, Moretta, as I mentioned, 2 singles, a double, a walk, scored 4 runs. He was 40% of the offense. Kyle Ouellette got hit by a pitch, walked, scored a run. DiVigilio had a bunt single. A.J. Luciano reached on an error, doubled in 2, scored a run, and singled in a run. So he had 3 RBI, knocked in the winning run, the mercy run. David Bernard had 2 base hits and an RBI. Colin Reddy reached on an error, got hit by a pitch, scored a run. Danny Lilia had a base hit in his place. Zach Elwell got hit by a pitch twice and scored a run. Brett Buckland had a base hit, scored a run. Deshaun Anderson had a big double, knocking in 3 and scoring a run. David Bernard pitched those 3 excellent innings, shutout innings, 1 hit, 1 walk. 3 base runners allowed, counting the error. And Lynn easily moves in. Not much work on their pitching. They were able to save their pitching, so they should be prepared for Cape Cod, which is a very good team, tomorrow in the finals of the winners bracket here at Frazier Field. So the final score, Lynn 10, Connecticut nothing. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.